Hey everybody, John here. Today's blog post, we're going to cover a very interesting device I ran across called the coal generator and coal motor. So not coal, C-O-A-L, but C-O-L-E. So coal generator. In case you guys have heard of this before, I have not. This was shared, um, I believe, with John Bodini as a device, being a production idea device. Very interesting notes on this one. I also want to do a quick recap of the last post and kind of encapsulate where we left off and where I'm sort of setting off in terms of replicating that specific schematic of Bedini's, and not necessarily what you might find in YouTube. I found those devices use wheels or spinning wheel with magnets. This device seems to use a magneto type energizer. So anyways, I'm curious to learn more about that and what anyone out there with an engineering or electrodynamics background might think. So anyways, I will have these documents posted. The cold generator, some of the highlights here. It is a device that uses uh, the back EMF for generating the energy. So it seems that in electrodynamics or electrical engineering, that's a point of contention that's something. The back EMF is something you don't use. It's something that's bad. It's non-usable. However, this invention appears to say otherwise, and it's a document that was monitored and in some way um, obtained by the CIA, and now we've got it. So I think it's worth looking into and replicating. I'd be very interested in that. This is a quick look of a 1 horsepower version of this device. So this is a motor. You can see here, it's not very large. Some of the specifics or specifications of it. It gives you a little bit of an idea of here the magnets. So the North Pole, magnetic sensors. It mentions that it returns over 90% of the motive energy to the supply source. And in recap, I will scroll down. This motor has 6 times the output torque of conventional motors using the same amount of copper coil. The parts are 6 times greater than a conventional design. This is construction costs comparison, material cost comparison. Back to this one. Looks like the inventor discusses how the generator works. And he specifically says that it shows a relative, let's see, the cold generator will drive a conventional type 24-volt motor. Yet the motor is over 12 times the total magnetic. So it'll run a motor that is 12 times the total magnetic material mass than the generator. So this is the big takeaway here, that the DC motor has a motor mass, magnetic material mass, 12 times more than the generator. And he goes in explaining a bit more about that here. If the generator had the same magnetic mass, it should then be capable of powering it. Now let me ask you why the motor can even operate with over 12.5 times the magnetic mass of the generator, supplying its motive power. Very interesting. So this is another one I would be very intrigued by and would like to work on replicating as well. So I will have a copy of this document on the post. again, he goes into, here's the inventor's name. He goes into talking more about this. He says, when taking full advantage of the back EMF energy concepts, a whole new world of power generating efficiencies can be realized. This is the direction we're presently proceeding. And then this is where he kind of talks about how right now the essentially the disagreement in the mainstream scientific community. Here it says, keep in mind, it only takes 6 times as much average power to fire the spark plug in your auto with the forward EMF methods than it does with the back EMF keying system. Does this tell you something? Even then, we have been repeatedly told by masters of engineering that back EMF energy is uncontrollable and is an enemy, not a friend. It should be quenched, choked off, or diverted. I wonder how many times Nikola Tesla has rolled over in his grave on this one. So enjoy this, guys and gals. I am, again, very interested in replicating this one. I look forward to your comments and questions. And I'm going to try to keep this post a bit shorter. I wanted to leave off with a review of where we left off with the Bedini model. And I think that, we're back up here to kind of the meat of it here. So again, this is the schematic right here. So any of you guys out there that are familiar with building an energizer or building a controller and there's circuitry that's described. Let's see, where is that circuitry? Here. So anybody out there that's familiar with that, please reach out. This is a photo of the device that they built. And again, this is the components, construction notes. So here he tells you the motor type, the battery type, the energizer, how it's built. The arrangement should be similar as that's shown in 16A and B. So it's basically a magneto controller, and he talks about how that's done. And again, anybody out there with that kind of experience, I'm very interested in talking to you. Yeah, that's where this one leaves off. Very, I think, if anything, low-hanging fruit comparatively to some of the other ones we'll discuss in future posts. I'd like to kind of run through some of those. There is one by Cromry. It's a molecular generator. This one sounds really interesting. This is a proven free energy generator, a type of monophase transformer. The peculiarity that the parallel cores make up the stators and rotors. So we'll be chatting about this one next week. But again, keep it in mind, guys, that going forward, I really want to stick to kind of the lower hanging fruit that we could build and replicate. There's so much information here. Please look up. Gosh, I really don't know how to ask other than just tell everybody about the incubator that is interested in these technologies, wants to do something about the suppression of these technologies, and just essentially wants to have or is interested in having a role in the conversation here. I'm just one person right now, but again, I'm teeming with excitement and looking forward to the prospects and adding more members as we continue down the road. We'll talk soon, guys.